Welcome back to Inside the Logic. I'm your host, MindFull G, and today's conversation might make some people uncomfortable. Some people might hear this and say, man, that's easy. Of course, selling drugs ain't worth it, but if it's so obvious, why are people still doing it? Why are teenagers still jumping in? Why are grown men still risking everything? Why are entire neighborhoods still trapped in the same cycle generation after generation? So, today's episode isn't about glorifying drug dealing. It's about understanding the reality behind it. The money, the image, the risk, the consequences, and the question, is selling drugs really worth it in today's society? Come on up. Come on, y'all. I need y'all to listen. Let's talk about it. All right. Let's be honest. Nobody wakes up one day and says, you know what? I want to risk prison for fun. Most people get attracted to what it comes with. Of course, the money, the attention, in some areas, the status, and the appearance of success, especially when you're young. You see the guy in the neighborhood, he got the nice car, the fresh clothes, jewelry, people respecting him, some people fearing him, and yes, the women noticing him. And meanwhile, you see your moms, your pops, your uncles working 2 jobs, and they seem exhausted most of the time. And most honest people seem to struggle. So naturally, some people start asking, hey, why am I working so hard when it seems to be like they're getting rich overnight? And that's where the trap begins, because most people only see the highlights. They don't see the drug dealer stress, the paranoia, those sleepless nights. They don't see the funerals. And they don't see the prison visits or the moms crying. They don't see those who never made it out. So, yeah, social media, I believe, and it's just my opinion and I'm entitled to it, has made this worse. Everybody sees the flashy version. Nobody sees the reality. Now let's think about it. When somebody posts online, they're showing money, cars, trips, designer clothes, and yet nobody posts, today I spent 18 hours worrying about getting robbed. Nobody posts, today I almost got arrested. And of course, nobody will post, I haven't slept peacefully in 3 years. Or I lost another friend. Right, you get me? You see where I'm going with this? The truth is, for every person who appears successful, there are hundreds who ended up dead, locked up, addicted, or just plain forgotten. The success stories get all the attention. The failures just become statistics. And unfortunately, the failures far outnumber the success stories. Now, if you don't believe me, look it up. But let's talk about something a little deeper. Let's talk about why the cost isn't always prison or death. Sometimes the cost is who you become. Now think about that. When your income depends on illegal activity, the trust disappears. Everybody becomes a possible threat. Every stranger, suspicious. Every knock on the door feels different. Every unfamiliar car becomes a concern. Then relationships get complicated because eventually people start asking, hey, what do you actually do? And even if you make money, can you enjoy it? Can you explain it? Can you build something legitimate from it? Or can you sleep peacefully? Can you travel freely? Live without looking over your shoulder? Hey, in the real world, to me, those questions matter because freedom isn't just about money. Freedom is peace. I hope y'all agree with me. But let's be real. The game today ain't the game from the 80s or the 90s. Shout out to the Gen X crew because technology has changed everything. You got cameras everywhere, license plate readers, cell phone tracking, digital records, social media evidence. Hey, people are documenting their own crimes online. Think about that. Some people are literally creating evidence against themselves every day. For us Gen Xers back then, somebody might hear rumors. Today, everything gets recorded. Everything leaves a trail. Everything can be traced. So the risks have increased. But many people think they're playing by the old rules. And that, my friends, is dangerous. Okay, maybe we should talk about something people avoid. The community impact. Because often the same neighborhoods suffering from violence, drug addiction, broken families, hopelessness are the same neighborhoods where drug activity become normalized. And let's be honest, people, not every person selling drugs create the problems. But the reality is the product still affects somebody's mother, father, brother, child, future. And that's where the conversation gets uncomfortable. Do y'all agree? Y'all need to let me know some of this in the comments. You can leave comments. Anyway, because eventually we have to ask, how can we complain about our communities being destroyed while contributing to what destroys them? And that's a difficult question, but it's a necessary one. Y'all agree? Now, here's where I want to be fair. Some people are desperate. Some people grew up with limited opportunities. I know. I've met some of them in my lifetime. And some people never saw legitimate success. Some people had responsibilities before they became adults. I understand that reality, but understanding something and justifying it are not the same thing. And we all know life can be unfair. Opportunities can be unequal. Systems can and have and continue to fail people. All of that is true. But eventually, every person still has to decide, what future am I building? Not just for today, but for 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, right? So, is selling drugs worth it in today's society? Okay. The answer depends on what you're measuring. If you're measuring quick money, hey, maybe. If you're measuring Short-term attention, again, maybe. But if you're measuring peace, freedom, longevity, family, real success, the answer becomes a lot harder, because eventually the question isn't how much money did you make? The question is, what did it cost you to make it? Your freedom, your relationships, your future, your peace of mind, your life, or someone else's. Now, those are the real questions. And before anybody decides that the street life is worth it, they need to answer those honestly, not emotionally, not based on social media, not based on somebody else's highlight reel. Just plain honesty. Because every decision has a price. And sometimes the most expensive things in life are the ones that look profitable in the beginning. So, what do you think? Is selling drugs ever justified? Tell me, is it survival, greed, lack of opportunity, or is it something bigger we're missing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is Inside the Logic. And remember, sometimes the hardest conversations are the ones worth having. Until the next time, peace.